$5 Games presents Shenmue 3. Unfortunately, I was only able to contribute about half of my normal time to this game. I'll get to that at the end. As far as a newcomer to the series goes, I went from being entirely lost to, wait, you already said that. The game starts with the protagonist and the female deuteragonist searching a cave. They start talking about the final words someone told them about the phoenix rising into the sky and them needing to submit themselves to its light. It totally sounds like what an evil emperor of an empire would say. No matter which way I look at it, it essentially means setting yourself on fire. Anyways, they put up what looks like a jade medallion. Maybe it was supposed to be a mirror into a slot that shoots out a beam of light, which heats up a torch in the cave until it lights on fire, which in turn lights a rope on fire, which then lights a series of torches and ropes. And I couldn't help but think, that's so cool. It's just like primitive electricity. And that would be so much work to set up. Is there a pile of logs just chilling in the corner with a spool of rope for setting this up? Why was there a slot for the medallion thing to light the torch on fire? The cave is pitch black, so of course they would have brought handheld torches. And with their handheld torches, they could have just lit the torches themselves that were already in the cave. There was no point for this whole medallion thing. You couldn't even see where to put it if you didn't already have a torch with you. Also, they were more likely to come across the torches already in the cave before finding the medallion pedestal. I'm sorry, it's cool. So the lit torches now show a dragon and a phoenix facing each other. The girl says a poem about a dragon rising up and I have no clue. I was too distracted by the whole torch setup. So they left the cave and I can't help but notice the screen fading to black over and over again as they were talking. I got flashbacks to the end of the third Lord of the Rings live action movie, except that it's almost every 4 seconds. So the plot is that her father is missing and they're looking for him. Unfortunately, this information is told in reverse. How do you tell a story in reverse, you ask? Well, they say he might be in the village, so they should search for him there. He then asks her if he's ever been missing before. She then tells him that her father is missing and that he left a letter. He then asks her if she's sure that letter didn't contain any hints as to where he's gone. She replies with, I don't care about the letter, I just want to find my father, which I'm now just really racking my brain understanding the mess of a conversation that I just listened to. This is then compared to when they approach the guards who prevent their entry to the village. She tells them that the protagonist saved her from drowning, which now heavily implies that it happened in a previous game, and that if I wanted to know more, I'd have to play that previous game, which I'm totally chill with. The guards inform them that they are there because foreign bandits came recently and raided the place. But then 3 seconds later, they talk about why the village has guards all over again when it's just them and there's no new information. The conversation just rubs me the wrong way. What I think is going on is that there are short cutscenes spread throughout the map and that they get triggered when the main character enters them, possibly with some conditions like time of day. However, some cutscenes will physically move the player and end them entering another cutscene. And that is why the screen keeps fading to black and why some of the conversations feel like they're repeating stuff. Because each scene is supposed to be isolated, it's supposed to give way to a more open world that lets you experience the scenes as you travel. The only problem is the beginning when they need to set everything up. Continuing on, after searching for her father, the girl was cooking food for me. I wasn't too sure what to do, so I looked at the food, and maybe I was supposed to wait until it was done. I wandered around the house until I found the bed, and given the option to sleep, I went to bed without any food, and the loading screen froze. I guess my character died of hunger. Oh, I waited a good solid 10 minutes before the game outright crashed and closed on me. So that's why I cut my time short, because I also didn't save. The game does excel at immersing the player into the game. However, the trees appearing out of thin air and the man disappearing breaks this immersion because of how well it's done. Don't get me wrong, I found it kind of humorous imagining a tree teleporting in front of me and a man vanishing in front of my eyes. So anyways, because of the issue earlier, I didn't get too much of the gameplay. According to the forums, the game is made for the controller, not the keyboard and mouse. And I use the keyboard and mouse, and I agree with their assessment. The game wanted me to use the full keyboard for movement and interactions, and then the mouse for camera control. In other words, I needed to grow a third arm to really enjoy this game. Gameplay conversations sometimes automatically played and sometimes they wanted me to press the talk button again, so there wasn't a great amount of consistency. And then there was this lady where the conversation just ended in the middle of it. In all actuality, I really wanted to immerse myself into this game, and due to the time constraints, I'm not able to. I think it would be enjoyable for anyone who enjoys role-playing or likes a more down-to-earth kind of game. The negative things are really there because I don't think the developers intended for the game to be put on the computer, and they didn't necessarily know how to put it on the computer either. So that's how I think we got to where we're at now. Subscribe, I do 5 of these each week. Like and comment if you want. That's a wrap for this game. Consider picking this up instead of a leather jacket.